Hi, I'm Karen Kubicko, and today we're going to talk about when you are having a past life regression and you remember being a child. How is that different? Well, I find this very fascinating because often when I'm helping somebody remember a past lifetime and they have chosen to kind of go to the point where they're still a child in a past lifetime, or maybe they didn't live past a certain age and they're just never got past the age of 10 or something like that. But they're remembering being a child. So what's interesting is when they're talking to me and when I'm helping them remember a past life, they're actually talking like a child would. So they're like, well, I don't really know where I live. Well, kids don't usually know the name of their city or country that they live in. They just know they live with their parent or parents and, maybe the kids that they play with or something like that. That's what they know. So if you are remembering a past lifetime and you are going to that memory from when you're like 3 or 4 years old, you don't know a whole lot. And so it's very interesting because they'll start talking like a child would in broken sentences or not really comprehending what's really going on. It kind of takes a minute to get it, for me to get it, that they are a child. And so when I ask somebody who's remembering themselves as a younger child, they might not even know how old they are. Or they might really recognize that they're very young. So remember to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And it's really interesting. I keep saying that, I know, but I think it's cool because I almost have to think back to when my kids were little and to talk with this person who might be a 50-year-old adult who is remembering themselves as a 3-year-old, but I'll speak to them like a 3-year-old. So what does mommy do? Or what do you see when you look outside your window? Are, silly little questions like that. It's funny because things that you would ask a child to help really understand, well, why did they pick that point of that lifetime, that past lifetime? Why did they choose to be that young age? Usually it's because they didn't live a long life and they might have passed away around that age. And so it was important that that time of their memory came up. If you are a past life regression practitioner and you're helping people to remember a past lifetime, you have to kind of get on their level wherever they're at. It doesn't matter if you are having someone come through as a child or an adult. I have had instances where people have remembered where they were mentally challenged. And so it was, again, like you were speaking with a child. It's no different. They didn't understand why their dad was mad at them. And then they noticed that their dad had to be super patient with them to talk to them about why it's okay to do this or do that, or if you had to go with somebody and they're like, I don't really want to leave the house, and it is a whole thing, no different than a young child would not want to go do something if they didn't want to. Like, for example, I had someone remember having a past lifetime where they were a child and they didn't want to go do something. Well, that's something that's very common with young children because sometimes they just don't want to do what a parent asks, like get dressed, eat breakfast, let's go to school, that type of thing. And so when somebody's remembering a past lifetime, it comes through. I had a woman remember being a mentally challenged adult, and it took a lot for her to understand why she was running aimlessly looking for a lost pet. She just didn't know that she was mentally challenged. She was frantic looking for this lost pet. And her grandfather, who was watching her and taking care of her, had to calm her down to let her know it was going to be okay. They would find the pet and all that kind of stuff. It was a whole thing. But when you're remembering a past lifetime and that information is coming through, you can get to the point where now you're using all your faculties from your current lifetime to understand that you are a child, to understand why you were shown these things, to understand that you are mentally challenged in some type of way, and seeing the bigger picture of what was going on. But having that childlike qualities come through when someone's remembering a past life is always very interesting. Anything's possible when you remember a past lifetime. The things that come through are what's important to heal, understand, overcome in some type of way to help you here in this lifetime now. And stay to the end for a link to a guided meditation to meet one of your spirit guides to ask them any questions that you'd like. Lots of love and light to you.